recipe today is quick and easy chicken sorpotel. So I'm going to show you how to make the Goan sorpotel masala recipe. It's super simple. Now these are the few ingredients that we're going to be using. So let's go through the spices. So this is about 10 peppercorns, 1 teaspoon of cumin or jeera, an inch of cinnamon or dalchini, 6 cloves or lavang, 15 dried Kashmiri chilies, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, about 1 inch of ginger, 10 cloves of garlic, 1/4 cup of vinegar, a lime-sized ball of tamarind soaked in 1/4 cup of warm water, and we're going to extract the pulp for the recipe. Now besides that, we're going to use 2 light green chilies which I've slit and cut into half, 1 medium-sized onion chopped fine. Now we're going to grind all the ingredients except the green chilies, the onion and the tamarind pulp. Rest all of the ingredients are going to be ground in the white vinegar, or if you have Goa vinegar, you can use Goa vinegar. And I'm not going to add the turmeric powder into my mixer pot. I'll be adding it later, but if you want, you can add the turmeric into your mixer jar too at this point. Now we're going to grind this with only vinegar, and we're going to make this into a very, very fine paste. So this is the vinegar that I'm adding, and we're going to grind this to a very, very fine paste like this. So our Goan sorpotel masala paste is ready, and today I'm going to be making chicken sorpotel, which is really very easy and quick. And whenever you're craving for sorpotel and you don't want to go through the tedious process of cutting up the pork and boiling it, this is a super fast recipe and it tastes super delicious. So let's start with the recipe. Now here I'm heating about 1.5 tablespoons of oil in a pan. And what I've done is I've just taken about 250 grams of boneless chicken breast, fried it in a pan in oil, and then just chopped it up into small pieces. And whatever stock you get when you're frying that, use that for the recipe too. Now once my oil is nice and hot, I'm going to be adding the onion. And we're going to fry the onion really well till it becomes nice and translucent. Now once the onions are translucent, I'm going to add my masala paste. And we're going to fry this paste really well for almost 3 minutes. We want the paste to be really nicely fried. So now here I'm adding the turmeric powder or the haldi powder. You could add it also when you're grinding the paste. So now once everything is nicely mixed, you can see that the paste itself starts, oozing out some kind of oil. At this point, you're going to add the fried chicken cubes. Now chicken cooks really fast, so we're going to mix everything really well together. See that the chicken is nicely coated with all of the masala. And now I'm going to add 1 cup of hot water. I've just microwaved 1 cup of water. Just add that and mix everything really well together. Now we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes till everything gets nicely cooked. And now I'm going to season it with some salt to taste. And I'm also going to be adding a pinch of sugar. This is completely optional, but the sugar does elevate the taste of, the entire dish. Now mix everything really well together. And we're going to cover and cook this for 5 minutes on a low heat. After 5 minutes, you'll see that the curry here or the sorpotel has thickened a bit. We're going to add our green chilies. Mix it in well. And now we just have one more ingredient to add, and that is the tamarind pulp. So what I suggest is go a little easy on the tamarind pulp because we've also added vinegar. So add a little, just give it a taste test, and if you feel that you want to add more, then you can add a little more. Mix everything really well together. And again, I'm going to cover and cook this on a very low flame for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, turn off the heat and your sorpotel, your chicken sorpotel is all ready to enjoy. Do give this recipe a try and let me know in the comments section. So let's see today's lovely Goan porridge with not a single drop of oil used in this recipe. So I've taken exactly 1 cup of rice in a bowl, and I'm going to wash this rice thrice under running water. I'm just showing it to you. So squeeze out all, squeeze the rice under the water, and first it will come very murky like this. And as you continue doing it, the water will become more clearer. And after you've washed it nicely thrice underwater, you're just going to cover and set it aside for 8 hours. You can keep it overnight too, but 8 hours would be sufficient. So after 8 hours, I've drained out all the water from the rice. Now besides that, we're going to use 1 cup of freshly grated coconut. Try to use, fresh coconut. The taste is really better. 2 tablespoons of sugar, or you can adjust it according to your sweetness, and salt to taste. Now here I've got a large mixer jar, and I'm just going to transfer the rice, the coconut, the sugar, and the salt to my mixer jar. Now porridge is mostly made, for breakfast. You can have it all by itself, or you can have it with a nice coconut chutney. I leave a link to my coconut chutney recipe down. Or you can even have it with gravies like sorpotel, vindaru, chicken curry, shakuti. It's like a kind of a dosa or a neer dosa, and it's very versatile. You can have it with anything. Even all by itself, it's so nice and delicious. And now I'm just going to add a little water at a time. Totally I've used about half cup of water, and we want to get this typical runny kind of a batter, very similar to a neer dosa batter, a little thinner than a regular dosa batter. Now I've kept my iron pan heating on a low to medium flame for at least 10 to 15 minutes. This is very important that your pan is nice and heated up. And then you're just going to pour about 2 ladlefuls. Now you're not going to spread it out too much like a dosa, just a little bit so you get that nice round shape. Don't spread it out too much. And then you're just going to cover it and keep it on a medium flame for about half a minute, and you'll see that it you tend to get these little bit of pores and bubbles all over. And then with your spatula, very very gently just loosen up the sides. You have to be extremely gentle, otherwise it will break. But if your pan is nice and heavy, nice and hot rather, it loosens up very very easily. Now, if you want to know about this pan, you can check it out in my Amazon store. It's in my cooking section, so you can get your hands on this. I use it for my dosas, for my gavans, for everything, and it comes out really amazing. Now you're going to cook the other side also for about half a minute. And then you're just going to transfer this to your serving plate. And in this way, you can make all the dosas. The porridge. And with this 1 cup of rice, I got exactly 8 porridge. And these are medium size. I haven't made them very small, or I haven't made them very large. I remember my mom used to make this for us, for breakfast. And just these with a cup of tea is a nice filling breakfast. Although I personally like it with a little bit of coconut chutney at the side. So the trick is to have a nice heavy bottomed iron pan like this and to really heat it up well, and you're all set. So I hope you do give this Goan Porez recipe a try. Let me know in the comments section how you like this recipe. Go and check out all my other recipes, which I'll leave the link to all of them in the description box below, as well as the comment section below. So you can go and click on them and just go directly to the recipe you're looking for. So here they are. They're so light and so nice, and not a single drop of oil used in this recipe. So it's so healthy too. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video sooner than they think. This is Akshata signing off. Take care, guys. Be kind and loving to one another. Bye.
And welcome back to Akshata's Recipes. Thank you so much for stopping by. Well, in today's recipe is going to be a traditional Goan recipe, and it's called potato chop, and I'll be using some chicken keema. Now I've already uploaded the recipe for the keema, so I will link that in my description box below. Otherwise, I will just list down the ingredients that I've used for the chicken keema. Now this potato chop can be eaten by itself with some tomato ketchup, or you can accompany it with some dal, rice, or even some plain rice with some Goan fish curry or some Goan curry, which is called sora, which is a plain curry. It's a very versatile dish, and you're going to love it. This takes me back to my childhood, and my mom used to make this for me when I was at home on my vacations and I was reading my favorite book. So I would get to eat that with a nice big cup of chocolate milk or some juice, and it was really a treat. So I hope you like today's recipe. I hope you give it a try and let me know in the comments box below how you liked it. And don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Do hit the red subscribe button below and subscribe to Akshata's Recipes. And I'll catch you in my next video. So now let's go to my kitchen and make this lovely Goan chicken potato chops.
So friends, if you want to see how I make the chicken keema, you have to watch the video till the end, and it's a very unique recipe. It's my own recipe. So this is the chicken keema that is ready. Now here I've taken 2 medium-sized potatoes which I've boiled and peeled. Now one tip I'd like to give you over here is boil the potatoes in advance, refrigerate them for a few hours, overnight preferably, because it's easier to work with the cold potatoes. Now I'm adding a pinch of salt to this, and I'm going to mash it up till I get a nice smooth consistency. Now we're just going to take some lime-sized balls, flatten them up, fill about half a teaspoon of the chicken keema inside, seal it up well, and keep it aside. So like I said, it's better to work with cold potatoes rather than hot potatoes. First of all, it's very difficult to handle the potatoes, and secondly, they are a little on the soggier side. So one tip is to refrigerate them and then try and make the potato chops. Now, after making all the potato chops, you can also refrigerate this and, just fry them whenever you want to. They stay in the refrigerator for about a day or two. So now here what I've done is I've kept some breadcrumbs ready, and I've beaten up 1 egg with a pinch of salt. I have a tablespoon of oil heating up in a frying pan. So first I'm just going to dip the potato chop into 1 beaten egg and then coat them well with the breadcrumbs. And once your oil is nice and ready, you just shallow fry them on both sides till they're golden brown in color. And fry them on a low to medium heat. And once they are golden brown on one side, you can just flip them over and fry them on the other side too. And now following this, I'm going to show you all how I make my special chicken keema. So keep watching. So here I have about 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once the oil gets a little hot on a low to medium flame, we are going to add about 1 tablespoon of ginger garlic paste. Now I've used about 1 inch of ginger and about 5 cloves of garlic, and I've minced it really fine. Now we're going to fry this well till the rawness of the ginger and the garlic goes away. Once that is done, we're going to add 1 medium-sized onion which I've chopped fine. We're going to fry all of this together. Now we're going to add the chicken mince, which I have washed once in a colander, a very fine whole colander. And now we're going to just fry this for about a minute or so till the onion and the ginger garlic gets mixed with it well. And now I'm going to add all powder spices, most of which are made at home. Now this is a ready-made meat masala which is easily available. So I've used about 2 tablespoons or 1 small packet. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. This is just for the color. It doesn't add any spiciness. 1 teaspoon of cumin powder and 2 teaspoons of coriander powder. My cumin powder, coriander powder and pepper powder are all homemade. And I've also added 1 teaspoon of pepper powder. I am going to be coming up with a video on how I make all these powder masalas at home. Now mix in all of these powders well with the mince. And now I'm going to add about half a teaspoon of garam masala. This garam masala is again homemade. I have a recipe uploaded on my channel. I'm also adding some Frankie masala. Now this is optional. If you get Frankie masala easily, then add it. And I also add half a teaspoon of crushed kasuri methi. So I'll add some salt to taste. I will leave a link of how I make garam masala at home in the description box as well as the comments box. So don't forget to go and check it out. And now we're going to fry this on a medium to high flame for about a minute or so, seeing that everything is mixed up well. And then we're going to cover and cook this for about 5 to 10 minutes. And your chicken keema is all ready. So I hope you like today's recipes and I hope you give them a try and let me know. So friends, let's see today's beautiful recipe of Russian salad. Now here I've taken about 2 medium-sized potatoes, washed them well, peeled them, and I'm going to chop them up into these small, even-sized cubes. Now I've kept some water at the side because I'm going to chop these potatoes into small cubes and then I'm going to put them in the water so that they don't discolor. So we want them into this even-sized small cubes. Next we're going to cube up the pineapple. So just remove the center and then cube the remaining pineapple. You're not going to use the center. So I'm using about 3 large slices of pineapple. So basically you require at least 3/4 of a bowl of all of the ingredients. Next I'm going to take 2 carrots. Now I love using these orange carrots, but even if you get the red carrots, it's fine. Now just cut them up. Now I would like to remove the center, the center part, and then we're going to chop them up into small cubes. We don't want very small cubes, just about this size. Now I've soaked about 8 to 10 French beans in some water, to which I've added a little salt for 10 minutes, washed them, dried them well, and then remove the edges. You need to remove the edges, otherwise you'll get the stringy kind of, consistency. And again, chop the French beans. Now you can prep all of this and keep everything ready, and when you want to make your salad, you just go ahead. Now I've taken half an apple and I've removed the core and I've removed the peel also. Don't throw away the peel. You can eat the peel. It's, very rich in vitamins. But for the salad, I have removed the peel. Now this apple adds real crunch to this salad. Now you can go with the entire apple also. So all our ingredients are ready. Now we need to cook the potatoes. So I've just taken some water, about 4 to 5 cups of water. Let it heat a bit. And I'm going to add the potatoes. Then I'm going to bring the potatoes to a gentle boil, checking in between. Now we don't want overcooked potatoes. We don't want it to be of the boiled potatoes consistency. We want them to be firm, yet they should be cooked. So just take them out in the middle and just check them with your knife. The knife should go, completely through the potato, or you can even, taste the potato and see whether it's cooked. We don't want it mushy, but we want it to be cooked. So keep checking. It should take about 5 minutes. And then drain the potatoes out and put them in a bowl. Now to the same boiling water, we're going to add the chopped up carrots. Now we don't want to overcook the carrots, so just for a minute, we're going to let them heat in this water. And again, we're going to drain the carrots and put them in a bowl. We're going to do the same thing with our French beans also. Just, kind of cook them just for a minute, not even a minute. Like the minute it hits the water, just for some time, let it boil and then take it out, because we don't want them mushy, but we want them to be firm, yet they should be cooked. So when you eat them in the salad, you don't find them extra crunchy, but just the right texture. Now you can increase the amount of the veggies also. You can add more carrots, you can add more French beans, you can even add green peas if you like. So now we are ready with all our ingredients. So now we can start making our lovely Russian salad. So I've taken a large salad mixing bowl. I'm going to add the potatoes. I'm going to add the French beans. Now try not to get any of the water of the vegetables into the salad. Then I'm going to add my carrots. I'm going to add my chopped up apples, my pineapples, and I'm going to mix all of this really well together. Doesn't it look lovely already with all the lovely colorful veggies and fruits? Now I'm going to season it with some pepper powder. So I'm going with half a teaspoon, but you can add to taste. Then I'm going to add some salt. Mix everything well together so that the salt and the pepper nicely coat all the veggies and fruits. Give it a taste, guys, because then you come to know if you want to add more salt, if you want to add more pepper. And then I'm going to go with 1 cup of mayo, but then I really added a little bit more later, about half a cup more. So you add the mayo also according to your, how much mayo you want in your Russian salad. Now those who want to keep it completely veg can go for the eggless mayo. Otherwise you can go for the classic mayo. And just mix everything, and don't forget to chill it before serving it, because it should be had nice and chilled. And this is a lovely salad. Do try it out. So friends, let's start with today's lovely recipe. Now this recipe is a Goan traditional recipe, and it's really easy and simple yet delicious. Now I've taken about 1 tablespoon of ghee or clarified butter in a pan, and I've taken about a medium-sized onion, sliced it really fine. I'm going to toss it around in the ghee for some time, and then I'm going to add a pinch of sugar. And I'm going to caramelize this, or make it nice and dark, golden brown in color and nice and crispy. This is going to be a garnish for the pulao. So this should take you exactly 5 minutes on a low to medium flame. So once the onions have nicely caramelized and browned, you can just take them out and keep them aside. Now in the same ghee, I'm going to add about half a cup of quarter cup of cashew nuts and kishmish or raisins. Fry them well and take them and keep them aside. Now in our whole spices, I'm going to use 2 cardamoms or elaichis, 6 cloves or lavang, and half an inch of cinnamon or dalchini. Then I'm going to be using 1 medium-sized onion, which I've chopped up, 1 cup of rice. This is basmati rice or long grain rice. Just wash it well and soak it in some water for 15 minutes. 2 cups of coconut milk, the thick coconut milk, and just half a teaspoon of saffron or haldi powder. That's all we require. So I've heated about a tablespoon of ghee in a pan. I'm going to add my whole spices. I'm going to let the spices fry well so that it flavors the ghee. Then I'm going to add my chopped up onion. And I'm going to fry the onion till it turns a little translucent. Next, I'm going to drain the water from the rice and I'm going to add that to the onions and the spices. Now fry the rice for about 2 minutes in this lovely ghee. This will be on a low to medium flame. So just fry the rice well. Now we're going to add the haldi powder. Now this is if you want a yellow color. If you want to keep the white color for the pulao, then just skip this step of adding the turmeric or the haldi powder. So just fry it well, because that will give you, you won't get a mushy pulao. You'll get a nice, where the grains are nicely separated, a nice and lovely light pulao. Now I'm going to flavor it with some salt to taste and about a pinch of sugar. Again, mix everything nicely. And now I'm going to add the thick coconut milk. So this is double the quantity of the rice. So if you're using 1 cup of rice, you use 2 cups of thick coconut milk. Now mix everything well. After that, just put your flame on high and let this mixture start to bubble or start to boil vigorously on a high flame. Do not stir it at all. Let it come to a nice boil. It should take you about half a minute or so for the liquid to start boiling. This is on a high flame. And you will see that everything starts to bubble and come towards the center. So let the entire liquid start boiling vigorously on a high flame. And when that happens, just give it one stir, and then after that, lower the flame to the to low, and then just cover it and cook it for about 5 to 7 minutes, just checking in between. Now just give it one light stir on a low flame again after about 5 minutes, and again cover and cook it for another 2 to 3 minutes. Just keep doing this, once or twice, very gently. And now I've put the flame off and you can see that the rice is nice and ready. So now you can transfer this to your serving bowl and then just garnish it with the onions. Just crush up the onions a bit because now they've cooled down, so you can crush them up. And then the lovely kishmish and cashew nuts. So here Aroz, coco or coconut pulao, a lovely Goan traditional recipe, is all ready. I hope you like this recipe, guys.